Hello and welcome to taik18. I'm Mohammed Adnan, and in this video we are going to discuss about one custom visual, and I'm really think this is really an awesome visual which you can make use of in our reports. I have made many custom visual videos on my video, but this is actually a special one because in this one visual we can create 40 plus visuals inside to that. Sounds amazing, right? Yeah, we'll discuss into this about in this video. So as this is going to be a big video, so I thought to make it into a different video series of this one. Please make sure to watch all the series in order to understand how this chart and what is the benefit of it and also the pricing factor of that. So before going into detail, if you are new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Now let's get started. So I'm talking about this visual from Inforiver and Inforiver Charts. So in the past, like 6 months to 1 year back, they also released about Inforiver Matrix visual, which I have not made any video so far, but that's also an amazing visuals. Soon I will also make a video out of it. You can also go and check out that in the website. So what about Inforiver Charts? So this is basically, you can make the fastest way to visualize with a no code user experience and 40 plus chart types. And not only that, we can also make use of storytelling and annotations. So annotations, data point and canvas annotations we can do. And in analytics, we can do the reference lines and reference bands also. And we can export this into a PDF or SVG and PNG format. And also we can also make use of text highlighting. Exploratory analysis, end user exploratory analysis we can do, contextual drill down, multi-dimensional small multiples we can do. And standard and best practices adhering to IBCS standard and visualization best practices. This is actually a good part which I really like about that. So I will discuss about that while the demoing of this video. So the next is about dynamic deviations. So dynamic deviations for comparison between the sales of the two categories of the value. This is also a really cool feature. And multi-dimensional small multiples trellis. So grid and grid with outliners, scaled rows and rank panels. And multi-measure visualizations. So compare measures with integrated variance visualizations, non-comparative multi-measure visualization, dual axis combination chart types, and high data to ink ratio, mobile first small form factor, high data ink ratio. So we can have this into responsible to mobile applications also. And then advanced conditional formatting, apply conditional formatting based on values, analytics, etc. Line gradient, conditional formatting on small multiple panels. So there are a lot of things which you can do based on this. And now you may think about what is the pricing of it, because most of the custom visuals are not free. So when it comes to pricing about this one, so you can check out onto this website. So now let's go into the demo. So this is my Power BI file. For your information, right now this is in beta version, so it is not available on Microsoft App Store. So you can just make a register of it in the website itself. So you can just click on try for free, so that they can send you the email about the sample file so that you can explore all these things here. So now moving on here, so let me create a new page and then I am going to add Inforiver beta charts here from the visualization pane into the canvas. So let me expand this here, and once I expand this, I got these three options. Select your visualization theme. So first I can use the default Power BI theme. So if you are making this report for your business and your business has a standard theme, then you can make use of that. Or you can also make use of the Inforiver standard theme, which uses IBCS standard and based with few modifications under our visualization best practices built in. And not only that, if you just want to stick to this IBCS certified, then you can also make use of that. So I prefer to go with Inforiver itself. So I'm clicking on that, and it just gives an example how we need to start with that. So here we have multiple things, but I just want to start with the retail sales. And let's have a look into the data structure. So the retail sale consists of order number, order date, order type, expected date, and partner product name, quantity, unit price, amount, product category, year, month, and inventory availability. So this is the sample thing. And what I want to do, I just want to analyze the sales amount. So I have just added one sales amount here, which is basically a measure of sum of sales amount column. I'm going to add this into the values here. Now if you just look into this visualization pane, here they have axis, group, value, AC means actual, and compared to prior year is previous year, PY, and compared to plan, that is PL, and compared to forecast is FC. So if you have a financial data and you want to do a kind of comparison between the previous year versus plan versus forecast, then you can drag and drop all this field here and this will show you the result automatically. The best part about this visualization is if you drag and drop something else here, let's say for an example, I want to analyze by product category into an axis here, right? So this automatically decide which chart is preferred way of showing this result, irrespective of any kind of field which you are drag and drop here. So let me add the auto type in the group section here, right? It automatically splits this chart and convert this chart to the relevant information which you can show up on the chart. That's actually an awesome way to, this is actually an awesome way to show the result here, because sometimes we may not know about what is the best practices to show this kind of results, but here it's easy of us, it can display it automatically. So now if I just remove these group options, I want to tell you one thing here. Let me remove this here. This is on the top, you have this pane which you can conditional formatting other than the default option of formatting which you have. So here, as this is the formatting, everything comes into this canvas itself. On the visualization pane you may not see much here, but still there are a few things are here. Let's go to this one, which is basically the height and weight of the general settings here, and this is a chart setting which is a global font. Let me zoom this here. So global font family and native hierarchy expansions, and there are a few things here which I will come back to the later stage actually in order to avoid confusion. So here if you notice here, you can see a number here on the top 8.4 million, and the average is 4.8 and the least is 690,000. So the good thing here is it just gives information about what is the highest sales on this product category and what is the lowest sales in this product category and what is the average of this one. This is really cool, right? In Power BI we may need to add to this analytics pane, and then we can able to add this here as a measure and everything. We need to do that. Not only that, if you want to just highlight the maximum or minimum, then we have to do a lot of things here, but this is just an easy way of doing that. And this is what I'm talking about, the deviations. So the comparison of previous category to this category, so the deviation it shows here is minus 82.5. This is actually a really important thing. If you are analyzing the financial data, if you want to compare this with previous year to current year, then this is really a handy tool for that. So now this is beautiful, right? And if I click on this chart here, I can see this here, each and every chart I can make use of it. So here we can use the column chart, line chart, area chart, waterfall, lollipop, combo chart here. And the best part out of this here is, if you see this one, I am not able to click on these things. It's only enable this option. The reason is because if I click here, then it will not work. Because the data which I have drag and drop here, it is not useful on using all these kind of charts here. It's only useful when we use this chart. That's the best practice, right? That's what it's showing up here. And if I see it here, it can show us every detail here, and this is only highlighted here. So this is a good way of doing that also. Now this is a kind of chart. So if I want to convert into a line chart for an example, I can click here, then it can convert into line chart here. And not only that, if I just want to keep it the column itself, and if you notice on the top right, you have an option about if you want to convert this into column or if you want to convert this into a bar chart. So this converted into a bar chart and everything is changed automatically here. So this is also a beautiful thing here. If I convert this into a area chart, then also we can able to see this difference here. Let's switch it back again to the regular one. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so if I drag and drop the sum of amount on the previous year also, then on the top we can see a different measure here. That's why it's called a multi-measure here. We can compare this with previous year. So actually I don't have this calculation as of now. So let me close this and let me write a measure here. We don't have a date table here. So let's quickly create a date table. I'm giving it a name, sales last year or previous year equal to calculate sales amount from this one. Let me remove this table name, comma, same period last year. And here I need to pass which is coming from sales calendar date. That's it. And if I add this sales previous year into this compared to prior year, then see how beautifully it just gives information about these things here. So now you can see it is what it is showing up here as a multi-measure, and on the top you can see this previous year data based on this each and every category, and also it gives as information about the actual is 8.4 million and the previous year is 5.6. The difference is 2.8, and the difference is also about the 50% of it, and here is almost the same thing which gives us the difference here. And also you can see the deviations of the previous year and this year it's changed to here. So here is also a cool thing, right? We can compare this with other measures. So if you notice here, this chart automatically converts this from this to this one based on the data what we have added here. And if you want to make changes to any of the data, then we can make use of that. If I click on this one, then this also gives information about the total sales and previous year and the difference percentage here. So this is really an amazing and cool thing. So let me remove this here, and it will just convert this into a different chart automatically here. That's also beautiful. And moving on. So not only that, if I add something else on this group here, for an example, if I add year on the grouping here, then I can able to see these multiple small multiples, right? So instead of looking in this way, I just want to convert this year into axis and group into product category. Right now you can see we have the Canon, Samsung, Nikon and Sony and Audi. So all these things, if you notice one thing, you can see this is a big, small, small, small and small. So it means it just converts this into a small multiples, which it says here as Trellis. So this automatically it has multiple options which you can show. And before going to that, the next option what we have here is the display. So if you click here, then it shows us whatever the columns which you add up here, everything shows up here. And if I click here, the is nothing but the first value from this value section. So if I want to add the total of this complete, then I can click on enable total and then click on apply. Then it will add a new column at the end showing the total value here. This is also a cool way. For average we don't need because it's actually showing up the average line here, so I don't need here. And also the total we don't need it here. If you want, then we can keep that, but there is also another way which you can show that. So let me tell you that in the later part. So clicking on apply now, so it will just show us those value. And now here the next option which we have is Trellis. So if you click here, then we got this multiple options. If you don't need that, then you can just click on over here. Then it will avoid the Trellis and it will just convert into a different chart. That's really amazing. If you click here, and what is the chart right now, it's basically the stack column chart which automatically converts here. This is super cool, right? So this is what it is. So if I turn on again the Trellis, and if I click on this arrow, it just gives us multiple options, which is basically here it shows about the grid, scaled rows and ranked panel. So grid is nothing but it will just gives an option about the complete grid with the default options, and here we can make use of the scroll or auto or paginations. So if you have the multiple category, so you want to make it as a vertical way of scrolling, or if you want to add a pagination which will convert into a right or left movement here. If I just enable this pagination and click on apply, Then at the bottom you can see the pagination options. Let me close this window here, and you can see it at the bottom. This is the pagination one. So you can just make use of multiple pagination here if you want. And now I go back again to this one. So let me click on this arrow actually, and this is grid, and we have the scale panel scale, which is basically this has uniform or individual. So actually, to analyze the data, from my point of view, uniform is the best way, so that we can have an equal number of x and y axis. And if you want to make it as an individual, then the chart will look different actually. So if you just notice here, it shows that Canon is this value and Samsung is this value. And if I click on apply, then this chart will look a different way. So what we'll understand is this is actually 2 million, this is 1.4, this is 1 million. But actually, while looking into this figure, everything looks similar. So that's the kind of confusion. There may be options where people may need to do that, but here in our example, we don't want to do that. So clicking on uniform here and then click on apply, then this will convert into a regular grid here. Regular grid is actually the example of this one. So here we have, and if I click on scroll options, then we have getting option how many grid which you need here. This is basically the number of rows, and this is the number of columns here. So if I click on apply, then this just convert into the number of rows 2 and column 3 here. And here this also looks good actually. The x and y axis, how you want to show up here, it's just the frozen bottom line. If you notice here, we don't have any x axis here for the first row, we just only have it on the bottom. So if you want to convert this into a top, you can just click on the frozen top rows and then click on apply. This year section will go up on the top here. So usually if you want to look into the previous way, then we have multiple options here which you can want to use that actually. If you want to keep it only at the first chart only, then you can also make use of that. You can able to see it here on the first chart, and everything is none here. So I think the frozen bottom row is the best option. Okay, so here the y-axis, either you can just frozen on the left column alone, or if you want to show it on every visual. So it depends actually. So for me, this looks like it has to be on every same single visual, so it has to be on all. And if you want to make use of average panel, you can click here, and if you want to give it a different color, let's say I'm giving this color, and click on apply, then this will create a new panel at the last here, and this will show us the average value of all this category on all these years here. That's also a good way of analyzing the data. So here we can see 2.2 million for Canon and 1.6 for Samsung. This is 1.1 for Nikon, 749 for Sony, and 230 for Audi. So inclusive of all these 5 categories, the average is 1.2 million on 22. That's cool analysis. If I click back here, if you don't need, turn it off. And then if I go back to style here, we have multiple options here to show up the value here. So here the display is category only on the top, and if you want to show up the category and value, so you can make use of that. And if I click apply, then this will just give the sum of value here. So that's what I just want to highlight to now, that we have option here on the display, show total, right? So it creates a separate bar here. If you don't want the bar here, if you want to show it on the visual itself, then we can make use of these options in the Trellis style, and then category and value, then it will just give you the value on right after the name of the category. This actually looks good. So all this year we have 8.4 millions of sales from this category, and we can have a multiple color styling here, even though we don't have right now to make this color style based on the measure, but at the moment we can just do it as default way. And also about the panel background, how you want to make use of it. If you want to alternate rows here, then this will convert this row into different color here. If you don't need anything, then you can just click on apply. And here the borders which we have, if you want to increase the border, then you can make use of that. And the radius, I like this actually. If I just convert it to 20 and click on apply, this just make a split between these each and every category here. Alright, so moving on, this is also a good option. And all this about these things about the sorting, top end, conditional formatting, annotations, and the deviations analytics, we'll discuss about that in the next video. If you like this video, just click on the big thumbs up button. If you are new to this channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button, and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. But make sure to turn on the notification on your devices Share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any queries and feedback, just post it on the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. See you in the next video.